What's up, guys? This is Drake coming at you live with another chess game today. We are going to do our typical opening. Let's get this started. E4 and see how it goes. Hopefully we can get a win today. Getting his queen out really early, which is interesting. But I'm not very worried about that, to be honest, at the moment. Because I'm going to do my standard opening and see how he reacts. Put two defenses on this pawn right now, bringing out his pieces very aggressively. So our job right now, because he brought his queen out aggressively, is to defend this whole scenario that's happening right now. And if we do defend it, he's going to be at a disadvantage. Because especially if we decide to bring this bishop right here and put some pressure on him. And we're going to bring our knight out. We're going to bring this knight out. Pawn down. Or his f-pawn down to put pressure on my bishop, but he doesn't do either of those. Actually decides to protect his my knight from going up to this b5 square, which would put a lot of pressure on his bishop. And not only that, but it would also put pressure on this square right here if he were to move this in any way. Right now we're going to decide to put it right here and work on trapping his queen. We're going to work on trapping this queen, see how it goes. Yep, making his queen run around right now. Making it run around a lot, actually. Next, we're going to start bringing out this piece right here. We're going to bring out the pawn. Since I'm one move ahead, I can just decide. This is what can happen right now. This is a problem that can happen. I move this pawn up, and he does take. And I do take the queen, right? I do take the queen. He moves this rook down, and all of a sudden, this rook is gone. So that's also another problem that can potentially happen at the moment. Development we have on the board right now, I am not too worried about it. He does not have anywhere to go with this queen. He does not, okay, except going all the way back there, which is his escape square. Location. And yeah, his queen is in a very bad location at the moment. It has a little protection. Yeah, we're going to put this back, and then maybe next move. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So instead what we're going to do is we are going to put this bishop out. We're going to bring it out right here, actually. We're going to bring this bishop out right here. And, yes, we're going to bring it out here. But he did block his knight from getting out, which is also interesting. E7 square, that's the only location he can go to. So he does decide to put pressure on my my pawn over here, which I'm okay with to an extent, actually. Move the knight up. We're going to move the knight up a bit. He does not have pressure on this square at all right now. And we're going to see how he reacts to it. Okay, so he decides to bring his knight out to defend this square. It's all around this square now, the G6 square. So he has a queen defending it. I have a pawn aggressing it and a knight. So if I take with this pawn, he takes with the knight. I take with the knight, he takes with his queen. So this could be an even trade overall. But then his queen will have a direct aggression to this undefended square over here. So that's not something I really want to do right now. So we have other options we can work with. One is to develop this queen and bring it out. That could help too. Next move we can do is take this pawn. He takes with the knight, and we can bring our knight over here to the F square, F5, and then we threaten him a check. Although all these options are not really that appealing to me, so I will bring this queen out right now to attack this undefended square right here. This square, as you can see, is undefended. And this can help us in the long run. So here we go. We're going to put it here and see what happens. Okay, so he decided to directly defend this pawn with his rook right now, which is very, very interesting because that means he's on the back foot right now. To move a rook in this scenario was very bad. His three pieces of him, for him, are trapped right now. They are not in any development. He has not brought his knight out. He is completely focused on this location of the map, which is very good for me because it helps me develop my pieces. I do not want to castle on this side because castling on this side, I already have a loose pawn here. I like this. I like this. Wait, yeah, let's put more pressure on the square right here. Let's go. Bam. So we decided to bring this pawn down, actually, which is very interesting because we can bring this knight out now. We can bring this knight out completely. I'm going to take with the knight. We're going to put the knight here to threaten some moves. We're going to threaten this knight, and we're threatening the bishop. He will take with the knight, most likely, at which point I will take with the queen. Yep, he decides to trade completely. Let him do that. That's cool, actually. And work with that right now. We're going to work with the castle. I'll let him take this pawn. I'll let him get an opening on that. The whole pattern here of pawns is very interesting to me because it's just they're all blocked off. These two are completely blocked off. I can't put any aggression on him to an extent. What I see I could do, except if he had one pawn defending here and he take it, I can get a passed pawn here, and then his rook would be like pretty much the only one defending it. But he opened the file for his bishop, but his bishop won't really be a threat here, so I'm going to put this pawn up. We're going to start bringing these pawns up. So he's going aggressive king, but he doesn't have a lot of places to go to, which is also interesting because he can't go into any of these files right here. He can't go into any of these files, so I'm interested in what his plan is. But we will try to put some aggression on the pawns because I do want to develop the board more. Interesting. So yep, I actually do like this move a lot. That's what we'll do right here. We're going to put this bishop here. Backed up by the rook, so we have a lot of late game progression here going on. He doesn't do neither of those things, actually. And decides to put more pressure on this square, which actually counters my strategy, because if I do move this pawn up one, he takes, I take, he takes, I take, he takes. He will have the numbers. He does have the numbers to keep taking, so that's not something I can consistently do right now. Completely. Let's start bringing the rooks out. So he decides to put pressure on my rook right now. I'm going to put my rook here and back up this pawn. I'm going to back up this pawn right now. Now let's see the options he has. Okay, so he decides to protect. What is he protecting right now? Huh. And we will do that. That is what we're going to do right now. It's an even trade all around, but the positioning for me is advantageous because my rook will be in a position to attack all these pawns and move up one square up here. My other rook will be, my bishop will be in a great advantage to go wherever is free along this diagonal. And he does go for it. He does go for it. So now the trade initiates. He's going to take with the knight or the bishop. I'm going to take with the bishop. And this rook has very little development going for it. He does not decide to take it. Okay, so he does not decide to actually go for this. He just decides to keep moving. He decides to keep moving the pawn. And we will just put this here. We're going to put this here and put pressure on his bishop. Complete pressure on the bishop right now. I'm not sure if he's looking for a pass pawn at the moment, but it's definitely interesting what he's doing. So he decides to go away with his bishop. He just has decided to leave. So this square is completely free. This pawn right now can be taken if I really wanted to. His next move might be to move the bishops up. He'll probably move it here because this pawn is defending this square, so he'll probably move it all the way up here. Start putting pressure on this. Oh, he left. He left. Alright, well, we got a win today, guys, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the game. Don't know exactly why he left. I do not see any specific openings I could do other than maybe check his king right here. But I don't see how that will benefit me too much. So overall, yeah, we got the win. Thanks for watching, and hope you learned something. At least maybe we didn't get to checkmate him, but I hope you learned something. Have a good night.